Fuck all that. Turn this shit off. Turn it off. Look, man. I tried to be patient. Y'all told me COVID was the reason that this team was ass. KP needed to get his legs under him, all that stuff, right? So we come in, I was trying to give him the 5 games. I said 5 games after Maxi comes back is when I will start to lay judgments. But I'm going to tell y'all, it's been difficult already. But tonight, I haven't even eaten dinner yet. I'm just that disgusted. I have no appetite right now. This game was handed to us on a silver platter. The Warriors had one player that should have been a threat tonight, Stephen Curry. They had to start a G Leaguer. They had to play 3 or 4 G Leaguers. They had 9 total players, none of whom were over 6'7". Our highest paid player is 7'3". We started another guy who I love, Maxi, 6'10". And on the first possession of the game, our 6'10" guy gets the ball literally underneath the rim and kicks it out for a 3. Didn't even look at the rim, didn't think about it, thought didn't cross his mind. And it was at that moment that I knew we were in for some bullshit. Bullshit commenced. So, going into the half, 2-point game, no defense to be found anywhere. Nobody doing anything to try to control the game. Not for the Mavs side anyway. The Warriors were getting exactly what they wanted. An up-tempo game where they could just run around, space the floor, try to get Steph Curry looks, and get other people open off of Steph Curry being a distraction. Draymond Green, I believe, had a career high in assists or something. Kelly Oubre had a career high in points, which I predicted before the game because I knew that he was going to play harder than anybody in a Dallas jersey. He knew that his team had no interior presence, and so he became the interior presence. And then he decided to hit threes too once everything got rolling, because that's usually how it works. If you can't hit your shot, you go inside, you get some easy buckets, you start getting the blood flowing, you feel comfortable, everything feels good. Now you can hit shots all of a sudden. So we have awakened Kelly Oubre, so that's fantastic. Not only for this upcoming game, but for the rest of the year. If we're even anywhere near a playoff at this point with the way this team looks. No heart at all. Luka tries, but the rest of this team is soft as Charmin. Soft. KP's getting pushed around the paint by small forwards when he tried to post up a few times. We got it to him inside a couple times, but even then, I don't think he understands the point of a post up. And, I've always said, we need him to be able to do that. We need him to add that element to our offense. There were a couple plays where he did do what he was supposed to do in those situations, draw 2-3 defenders, kick the ball out. That's fine. I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine with is passing around the perimeter. What I'm not fine with is him getting the ball in those situations and just immediately turning around and shooting. Scoring is fine. Let me see if I can break this down. I believe the Spurs for a while had the strategy of, if you have one elite player, just letting that elite player go off and stopping everybody else, because that scoring is not impactful. When you get the ball as a 7'3" dude with a smaller man on you, turning around and shooting that bucket quickly is fine. But what's more impactful on the game is holding that ball for a second, faking one way, making that defender think, making that defender overreact, making the other defenders think and overreact, drawing fouls in those situations, taking your time, and controlling the game. That's what we should have done. If we give the ball, even Luka on his penetration, or if we posted up Luka's bigger than their entire team. So if we made a concerted effort to try to control the tempo of the game, we would not have allowed them to get into the rhythm they got into, to where they were controlling everything. The only reason we were even in the game in the first half is because our 30% three-point shooting team decided to shoot over 50% in the first half, which was a formula for disaster, because it was, as the TNT crew called it, fool's gold. Because all of a sudden you think you can hit threes when that hasn't been the case all season, and you live and die by the three. This was our problem last year. We could score with anybody, but we had absolutely no defensive presence. And when you don't have defense, when you don't rebound the ball, you cannot control the game. I have had my personal beefs with Luka, but at this point in time, I don't think Luka's mad enough. Leadership, whatever. He's 22, 21. I don't even know how old he is. He's young. I'm not going to even put the leadership stuff on him as heavily as I want to. He has some leadership issues. That is what it is. The roster is ass. All these moves that we've been making for the past 10 years to create salary cap space to lure big free agents, nobody is fucking coming. Nobody's walking through that door as a savior. You're basically just putting yourself in position to get chosen. We are friend zoned by the entire NBA. Stop it. Dirk left hundreds of millions on the table because they promised him they were going to bring somebody in. It never happened. It's not going to happen. And if it even were to happen in the next couple of years, you can't ignore the past 10. That's not good. That's not good strategy. In the time that we spent waiting for a magical free agent to decide to save us, we could have developed our own draft picks that we kept giving away for nothing. That strategy is dead. As far as Porzingis, I'm not mad at him as a player and who has the ability to score. That's literally all he can provide to our team. I keep hearing we can't pay a second big man big money, but I think people are not hearing themselves in that discussion. If we could get an elite big man, that elite big man will not be the problem. KP will be the problem. Our defense will be hurt because of KP, not the other guy. The other guy is 90% of the time going to be a better defender than Porzingis. Porzingis will be the worst defender of the two in that scenario. His contract will be the worst of the two in that scenario. So you get the guy who is better than him, and then he's even more expendable than he is right now. Vucevic, Andre Drummond. And right now, you know what? I've been holding back, but right now, Andre Drummond would be a better front court pairing with Luka Doncic. If you can get Drummond without giving up KP, you go all out for it. You pay Drummond. If KP decides to play basketball at that point, fantastic. If not, trade him for a bag of chips at this point. I can't bank on KP as my number two. He's not an impactful player. He can score points. That's fantastic. Other than that, he's not giving you enough. He's not a championship type guy. He is a novelty piece. The points that he gets you, anybody could get you. Anybody could stand out at the 3-point line and shoot threes at 30%, like he's doing right now. If he's not a guy who you can give the ball to and get himself and draw a double team, like somebody pointed out, he's not drawing double teams. If he can't draw a double team, then he's not helping Luka. If he can be guarded one-on-one consistently, he's not helping Luka. He is a number 3 guy at best in that scenario. THJ with a pituitary problem. We need a guy who can score 20 points, draw 2 defenders on a consistent basis, and take attention away from Luka. Take the ball out of Luka's hands. Take over a game when needed. Again, if we can get an Oladipo or whoever without giving up Porzingis, fantastic. Because then we have a number 3 guy who can score outside of Luka and whomever it is that we're able to obtain. If you're saying we don't have the assets to get anybody, that's fine. Maybe we do not. Acknowledge that the team is ass in the meantime. The team is not built to win. Our cap space is not likely to get anything. You can't bank on that. We are in a terrible position. If I'm Josh Richardson, I don't want to come back. For what? I don't know, man. I don't see the path forward. I do not see the path forward. I'm tired of Rick Carlisle. He's gotten a pass for way too long. Oh, but he put together the lineups and we made the playoffs, or we competed for the playoffs. And Rick Carlisle is checked out. He's not invested in this team the way we need a coach to be. That's why I made the call last summer. Not even summer, last offseason, I apologize, when I said it would probably be the perfect time when all those teams that were playoff type teams got rid of their coaches. It would be the perfect time to figure out a way to trade Rick Carlisle to one of those teams and bring some new blood in, because our assistants were hot commodities, and it made sense in my eyes to have a young, fresh coach with no resume, no track record to lean on when he was doing bullshit, that was as invested in trying to get to the top as Luka is right now as a newcomer. Jamal Mosley, Silas would be riding and dying with this team. They wouldn't be, we just need to wait. Mark Cuban came in Kenny's mentions the other day and said we need to wait for the rest of the league to catch COVID so we can get back to where we belong in the West. Are you kidding me? Your team is that bad, you need the rest of the team to get a deadly disease? I mean, the rest of the league to get a deadly disease to rectify our place in the league? That's how bad we are? We can't beat people? We got to wait for them to get sick? Come on, man. Look, I sat down. I didn't have no script. I didn't have no plan. I don't even know how long I've been talking right now. I'm just venting right now. I don't have any organization. I had no plans. I just wanted to be pissed about this team out loud for the first time in a long time. And this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. The Warriors are dancing on us. They're playing patty cake with the ball at the end of the game. And we look goofy as hell. People were happy about what this team was doing at halftime. People were happy because all you saw was some shots going in, right? You can see the fact that the Warriors were controlling the game. The Warriors are getting exactly what they wanted. They should have been out of the game in the first quarter. This should have been like the Clippers game. But no. Let me look at his box score real quick. Oubre, 40 points, 8 boards. Steph had 28 and 6. He didn't even go off. He had a nice quiet game. Draymond had 15 assists. Damian Lee had 17 points. Michael Mulder had 12. Juan Toscano-Anderson had 14, 8, and 5. Let's look at the Mavs. Luka, 27, 6, and 6. That's what he does every single night. Richardson was complete bun. 6 points, 5 assists, 2 for 9 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3. Dorian Finney-Smith took 3 shots. All threes, hit one of them. Porzingis shot well. 25 points. He had 5 rebounds. No one on our roster had more rebounds than Kelly Oubre. And that was why I predicted that he would go off. Like I said, he would play harder than our entire team. He had no reason to out-rebound our entire team, but he did. Maxi Kleba in 20 minutes led our team in rebounding with 7. Dwight Powell in 14 minutes had 6. Luka had 6. And Kristaps Porzingis, who played 25 minutes, had 5. Why are you tall? I get it. You're not a post player. You're not George Mikan. You're not Shaq. But you are 9 inches taller than the tallest player on the other team. How big of an advantage would it be for you to be near the paint area when a shot goes up to maybe get an offensive rebound? To maybe make that defense work a little bit harder. There was a possession late in the game where KP got the ball in the middle of the paint, and he saw the man open in the corner, and he hit him. That's fine. But then he starts backpedaling. For what? Are you protecting the paint? I didn't see that tonight. Saw layup after layup for the Warriors. Stay in there and be tall. Luka was in there fighting 4 Warriors for the rebound. KP's never returned to the picture. Luka tried 2-3 times to get the shot up. KP never returned to the picture. Not an impactful player. Not an impactful player. 25 points meant nothing. Absolutely nothing. No impact, no force. Did not put any pressure on the Warriors team. He had like 2 plays where he put pressure on their team, forced them to foul him. That's not getting it done. That is not getting it done. And for all the people that hate on Drummond, talk about his shot selection, he puts pressure on the other team. He draws 4 defenders to him. His shooting percentage is low because a lot of times when he draws 4 defenders to him and he goes up, he usually gets fouled as he's going up. They don't call it. He gets his own rebound. He gets fouled again. He misses. He gets his own rebound again. Gets fouled again. Misses. Gets his own rebound again and puts it in. Like that happens multiple times a game where he just puts it up at the rim because nobody is going to get the rebound before him, and then he goes up and gets it. It's what Moses Malone did. I'm bigger and stronger than everybody. If I just put this ball up here at the rim, I'm going to go be the one to go get it if it doesn't go in. He does that multiple times a game. That's why his field goal percentage isn't amazing. But if you watch basketball, you would know that. But you don't watch basketball. You just like watching box scores and talking about players you've never watched. You talk about him ISOing. He has never had a point guard. He does now, and the Cavaliers are playing better than anybody expected. He ISO'd because his team is cheeks. He had to do what he had to do. Can KP ISO? Is that an option for him? Andre Drummond is a better basketball player and more impactful basketball player than Kristaps Porzingis. If you had both of them on the roster, Kristaps Porzingis is immediately the lesser of the two and the least impactful player on the team. Drummond getting you 15 points and 15 boards is more impactful than KP getting you 25 and 5. Drummond makes you feel him. KP does not. And this isn't even about trying to get Drummond at this point. This is about basketball at its simplest point. I'm at the point again, and I've been here before, where I don't even want us to get him. I want him to go to a team that is winning right now. A playoff contender type team. A better team than us. Because we don't deserve him at this point. I don't know what we deserve. I'm so tired of this team. I'm so tired of this fan base. I'm so tired of the front office. I'm tired of a lot of things. I'm very tired. Like, I want to take a break from watching this team play basketball or whatever the hell it is they're doing. I'm tired of looking at them. Again, no heart. I don't want to hear about no JJ Barea leadership. At the end of the day, if you have to hold on to a 40-year-old point guard that doesn't play for you to keep your team together, then you got other issues. And it starts from the top down. It starts at the head. It starts at the front office and their incompetence. And they're every year it's about saving money. Even the Josh Richardson deal was about saving money more than it was about trying to change the mentality of the team. The money was definitely number one. Don't let them lie to you. That's all they do is put out propaganda through the Mavs media and whatnot. They do propaganda for the team and fans eat it up. I can't stand it. I really can't. I try to ignore it as much as possible. I try not to say things, but y'all are making me say things. So thank you for making me say things. I try to keep a cool head. I try to stay level-headed. I try to stay calm, cool, and collected. Right? But at some point, that has to go out the window, and I've reached that point. I'm in. It's ranting season at this point. This team something has to give. Something has to change dramatically. If it's Carlisle gone, fantastic. I don't know when that deadline needs to be that he needs to have turned something around. I don't know if it's. Again, I don't think Donnie is a bad basketball eye. I think he's good at finding talent. I don't think he's able to negotiate well with today's players. I just think our front office has been together too long. They're too dated. There's no fresh blood in the front office. There's no fresh leadership from Carlisle. He's old school. He could be a great guy. And this is the thing that people get caught up in is, but he's great for the culture and he's well respected around. I don't care about that. He can't control this team. He doesn't relate to the players. And it's just not getting it done. A young coach like Jamal Mosley has this team in a different position, has this team fighting differently, is communicating differently with this team than what Rick does. If it's a trade, we have to change the dynamic of this team. We have 0 people on this team besides Luka Doncic that actually is a threat to score in the painted area of the floor on a consistent basis. Launching threes is not the answer. The Warriors got away with it because they had 2 of the greatest shooters of all time. Those people are not on our roster. That is not how you're going to win basketball games. The best teams in the league right now have a legit post presence. The Bucks have Giannis. The Jazz have Gobert. The 76ers have Embiid. And the Nuggets have Jokic. And people pointed it out. Oh, well, Embiid and Jokic aren't normal centers. Watch how they play. Most of what they do is not outside the three-point line. Embiid this year has definitely focused more on being a paint presence and getting open shots for Seth Curry, who is a historically great three-point shooter, so that makes sense to do. The Jazz. They use Gobert as a rolling threat because he doesn't really have a post game, but when he does that, he still draws the attention of defenses, and he opens up historically great shooters. He opens up the rest of the floor for everybody else. We have nobody that is that threat besides Luka. And what does that mean? Luka dribbles into the paint and kicks it out to guys who've shot in the low 30s for most of their career and are hoping that they suddenly decide that they can shoot threes. That's what you're hoping for. And most of them got hot last year. It was fantastic when they got hot. But when you want everybody to be a catch and shoot shooter, when those shots aren't falling, what else do you have? Absolutely nothing. We have nothing to fall back on. We have nobody we can just throw a ball to and say, go get us 2. Nobody. Nobody on the roster. Person does not exist. Player does not exist. We can't get defensive stops. The teams go to the rim on us at will. It's infuriating. And when I said that we needed to prioritize getting a paint presence, a big of some sort, I was disappointed when it didn't occur. We got Willie Cauley-Stein back as an afterthought, and he's been probably our best big as far as an interior presence. And he is atrocious at that himself. So that speaks for itself. We just didn't care about that thing, and it's going to be our downfall unless something changes here soon. Options are limited. Don't know what we can do. We don't have great assets. All we have is expiring contracts. Isn't a great free agent market, so we can't bank on other teams being willing to play the Dallas Mavericks game of collecting expiring contracts so they have money in the offseason. We can't bank on that. A lot of teams that may have been in that position are in playoff contention right now, so now they've got tough decisions to make whether they're willing to part with guys who are going to take them out of playoff contention in order to maybe get somebody in the offseason. And I feel like most of those teams probably aren't going to do that in this pandemic season with a depleted market right now for free agency. So we kind of painted ourselves into a corner, and this is probably the last real offseason that we're going to be able to do anything impactful as far as being able to sign anybody to a big contract, unless it involves trading Kristaps Porzingis in the process, or giving Hardaway or Richardson or both big contracts this offseason and then trading those contracts later. I've gone for way longer than I planned to, and I just needed to get that off my chest. I don't know if I made any sense or not. I appreciate y'all for dealing with me in these tough times, but I needed to get that out because sitting here quietly and saying I'm gonna give them 5 games has been eating at me for a while now, and yeah, that's all I got to say, man. I guess we'll be back Saturday to do it again. And who knows, maybe Rick will have woken up and decided to do something differently Saturday. But he's let the Warriors know that they can control us if they want to. And so they're going to come in even more confident on Saturday. And we're going to have to deal with that. Steph, like I said, didn't even go off tonight. So he's prepared to do that at any time. So if we're going to let G-Leaguers out-rebound us, and guys that we clowned all on Twitter and whatnot, and Oubre to get career highs on us, have mercy on us, because I don't know if I'm going to watch that whole game if I see it going that way. And I don't like turning games off. I might put it on mute or something. I won't completely turn it off. I'm a loyal fan at the end of the day. It is what it is. I might cop a Gobert jersey or something to make myself feel better. Anyway, I'm out, man. I'm out. Peace.